The Philippines, an archipelago of over 7,000 islands, is a land of diverse cultures and stunning landscapes. Located in Southeast Asia, it boasts pristine beaches, lush rainforests, and towering volcanoes. The people are warm and welcoming, known for their hospitality and resilience. The country's strategic location has made it a crossroads of trade and cultural exchange for centuries. Influences from China, India, and the Islamic world have blended with indigenous traditions, creating a unique Filipino identity. This rich tapestry of history has shaped the Philippines we know today. It is a nation proud of its past, navigating the challenges of the present, and striving for a brighter future. Long before the arrival of Western colonizers, the Philippine Islands were already home to thriving communities. These early Filipinos, called barangays, had their own systems of government, social structures, and beliefs. Trade played a vital role in pre-colonial life. Filipinos were skilled seafarers and merchants, establishing trade routes with neighboring countries like China, Japan, and those in Southeast Asia. They exchanged goods such as pearls, gold, beeswax, and textiles, contributing to a vibrant economy. These early societies were deeply connected to the natural world, with animistic beliefs influencing their daily lives. They revered spirits and deities associated with nature, and this reverence is still evident in some Filipino traditions today. The arrival of Islam in the 14th century further enriched the cultural landscape. It spread primarily through trade and peaceful conversion, particularly in the southern Philippines. This period laid the groundwork for the organized sultanates that would later resist Spanish colonization. The Spanish era began in 1521 with Ferdinand Magellan's arrival. It marked a turning point for the Philippines, ushering in over 3 centuries of colonial rule. The Spanish established Manila as the colonial capital, aiming to control trade and spread Christianity. The Spanish introduced Catholicism, which had a profound impact on Filipino society. Churches rose in towns and cities, and religious orders became powerful institutions. However, this period also saw the oppression of indigenous beliefs and practices. The colonization was not without resistance. Numerous revolts erupted throughout the archipelago, fueled by forced labor, land grabbing, and suppression of native cultures. Leaders like Lapu-Lapu, who defeated Magellan, and Dagohoy, who led a rebellion for over 80 years, became symbols of Filipino resistance. Despite the hardships, this era also saw the birth of a Filipino national consciousness. Shared experiences under Spanish rule fostered a sense of unity and identity among the diverse ethnic groups in the archipelago. This growing sense of nationalism would later pave the way for the fight for independence. Section 4. A new power emerges: American rule. The late 19th century saw Spain's power waning, while the United States emerged as a new global force. In 1898, the Spanish-American War broke out, and the Philippines became a key battleground. Following the Spanish defeat, the Philippines declared independence. However, the U.S., having purchased the Philippines from Spain, had other plans. The Philippine-American War ensued, a brutal conflict that lasted for 3 years. The Americans eventually established control, introducing a new system of governance and education. They built schools, hospitals, and infrastructure aiming to modernize the Philippines. English became a widely spoken language, and American culture began to influence Filipino society. This period saw the rise of a new generation of Filipino leaders who advocated for independence through peaceful means. They formed political parties, published newspapers, and engaged in diplomacy to advance their cause. The desire for self-determination remained strong despite the challenges of American colonization. Section 5. War and Freedom: A Nation Forged. World War II brought further upheaval to the Philippines. In 1941, Japan invaded, occupying the country for 3 years. This period was marked by brutality and hardship as Filipinos endured forced labor, food shortages, and the horrors of war. Despite the occupation, Filipino resistance fighters alongside American forces continued to fight for liberation. Cities and towns were reduced to rubble, and countless lives were lost. The Battle of Manila, in particular, witnessed widespread destruction and civilian casualties. Finally, in 1945, the Philippines was liberated. The war left deep scars on the nation's psyche and physical landscape. However, it also solidified the Filipino spirit of resilience and the unwavering desire for freedom. Section 6. The Philippines Today: Legacy and Progress. On July 4, 1946, the Philippines finally gained its independence, marking a new chapter in its history. The young nation faced the daunting task of rebuilding and forging its own path in a world recovering from war. The post-war decade saw periods of economic growth and political instability. The Philippines grappled with issues of corruption, poverty, and social inequality. However, Filipinos continued to demonstrate their resilience, creativity, and commitment to democracy. Today, the Philippines stands as a vibrant democracy in Southeast Asia. It faces challenges, but it continues to move forward, drawing strength from its rich history and the indomitable spirit of its people. The legacy of its past, the struggles, sacrifices, and victories continues to shape the nation's present and will undoubtedly influence its future.